Welcome to the Shikama Live Show with your host, Shikama. A lot of you are wondering where the Shikama Live Show got its name. I used to run a 16-hour show live online, streaming every day. I immediately garnered a very large audience, and it was a show in the sense that I did everything on the show, including streaming cartoons, streaming games, everything. My old subscribers, not that they're old, but the subscribers that have been with me since something like 2007, remember those times. I had a sports section, I had a riddle section, I had an anime section, I had a fitness section and health. I talked about the day's events, fashion, everything you could possibly think of. That was all incorporated in the Shikama Live Show. Now, there are those who are coming newly to my channel because they have seen a video of mine referenced with another video that they have been watching. And unlike other YouTube channels who are one subject only over and over and over, they confuse those channels with my channel. I'm not a one subject thing. And here is the crux of this video. I do not hate white people. I do not hate women. I do not hate black women. I do not hate black people. I do not hate black men. I do not hate Latinos. I do not hate gays. I don't hate lesbians. I don't hate children. I don't hate anybody. And in fact, if you've listened to quite a few of my videos, I will use the term humanist, that I am a humanist. Not in the sense of the NWO. Hold on, my house is burning down. Not in the sense of the NWO that they want to rule the world and they believe that they the only humans that count are by divine providence set to master and lord over everybody else. And they will upload their human consciousness to robot bodies and live eternally. No, that is not what I am at all, and I'm very angry that they chose the word humanist, which doesn't even seem to apply to that because, they always use, just like Congress, they always use terminology that conveys one thing, but they actually put it on something that doesn't mean that at all. I am a real humanist. I believe in humanness. I believe that we should be progressing mentally, socially, societally, into the future, that all human life is the most important thing on the planet, and I believe anybody who does not believe that literally should go kill themselves. And I am very serious about that. The people who think that lions are more important than humans, dolphins are more important than humans. Listen, you idiots, humans are more important than everybody. Why? Because humans are the very beings on the planet that can take care of lions and dolphins and so forth and so on. Just like they jump to the conclusions all about the Cecil lion, and now that people start looking into it, the story does not match up to what was told in the media, which is a constant. The media is often lying. So those black people who think that they're awakened and so forth and so on, who come to my channel and say, how dare you make a video about a white police officer being shot down like that? He's the enemy and he deserves to die. That is just ridiculous. You're a coon. You're a, what's the log cabin? What's the Uncle Tom? You're an Uncle Tom. Although, and they're using that terminology the opposite way that it should be used. Uncle Tom was the one who protected all the slaves and gave his life to not, even under pains of torture, to not reveal that the slaves were all escaping. There's your education for today, everybody. Uncle Tom was not the bad guy. In the story, the Sambo or somebody else was the bad guy. It was the other guy that revealed the slaves. The Uncle Tom was the Jesus character. That was the Messiah for the black people, for the black slaves. So when you're trying to call somebody Uncle Tom in a derogatory way, you're actually showing that you are completely and utterly foolish. Uncle Tom was the savior of black people in the story, and all the white people hated the book. Hated it because they didn't think that a black person should ever be in a position, in a comparable position, to do anything good for their own. Anytime a black person should be able to do something good, it should be for a white person. The book was met with such hatred. So there's your Uncle Tom education for the day. Now, so I have these black people coming into my channel saying, "You're an Uncle Tom. You're a coon. How dare you do videos about white people?" I run a show. I have to battle a lot of stuff. I have 6 or 7 properties online. I call it properties. These are businesses online that I have to deal with, plus social media marketing for all of my crap. So please, if you're one of these, you think that you're awakened and, you know what? I'm probably more aware of African history than you are. I've actually lived in Africa. I actually studied African history from Africans. I know a lot of white people are going to say, "What do those people know?" It's such a ridiculous notion. I know. But both the white people and the black people in the United States probably say, what do Africans know about African history? Well, yeah, that's pretty ignorant statement. Yes, I've been told that. I've been told exactly that. What do Africans know? What do Peruvians know about Peruvian history? I lived in Peru too. Lived in France. Spent 6 months on the French Revolution. 6 months just on the French Revolution. Even went so far as to, at the end of it, to put on an impromptu play as the French Revolution. And who did they choose to be king? Me. And while that's a very great honor, right, to be chosen as a king, a black guy in France, right? In a practically all-white school. But what happened to the king? And that's exactly what happened. I tried to undercut the French Revolution by creating the right of the estate, le droit de l'État, and I gave people all sorts of rights and celebrations and food for people who were all starving at the time, which was really the crux of the real French Revolution. It wasn't about the rights of the humans or anything like that. It was the merchants trying to sell to people who didn't have money and who were starving, and they manipulated the poor into revolting. When they crashed the palace, they were all starving, and this is where you get the famous quote of Marie Antoinette saying, "Let them eat cake." And for those people who don't know what cake means, cake is when you clean out your fireplace of all the soot and the grime. They sweep it up and they put all the ashes together and it forms a cake, and that's what they called cake. That's what she was referring to, and that's why it's such a hideous thing to say let them eat cake. They're not talking about ice cream. They're not talking about German chocolate. They're not talking about butterscotch or anything like that. She's talking about the soot and grime from your fireplace. Now, there's another history lesson for you. I don't hate white people. This channel is not about white hating. This channel is about uplifting black people to a completely different level. I want you to be in the nosebleed level where white people don't even matter. And when I say white people don't even matter, a lot of white people don't understand what that means. That means that white people are so inconsequential, just like the Asians. I want black people to emulate the Asians and the Jews. I know a lot of black people who are awakened want to say, oh, it's the Jews are all our fault. You don't have to follow the Jews. You don't have to obey the Jews. You don't have to bend to the Jews. They said Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was very upset and bitter because he doesn't have all these accolades. He doesn't have statues. And he was the center of all time in basketball. A master of the game, won all sorts of, he was the top scorer, top this, top that. And they said that he was really bitter with the Laker organization who doesn't have a statue for him, who he who did even more than all the other people who actually have statues out there. And I say, why be bitter? Why are you working for these white people? You can start your own league and cut all of that stuff out. And I had people say, well, if they started their own league, you would have worldwide chaos because it's just not, American basketball. It's pumped all over the world. Well, tough luck, right? What did they say? Tough titty, said the kitty to the something. I don't know. But that's exactly right. You have all of these actors who have suffered real racism, and a lot of people use the word completely incorrectly. Racism means control. Racism means control. One group controlling another group. This is why people say black people cannot be racist. Black people can be bigoted. Black people can be prejudiced, but they cannot, by definition, cannot be racist. Only white people can be racist. That means that the white people in power, I'm not talking about you peasants that listen to me, and before you get insulted by that, we're all peasants, right? Not the white peasants that you see day to day, driving buses, driving taxis, in the grocery store. I'm talking about the white people in power who pass laws, including the homosexuals who want black people to join their cause, but then the homosexuals turn around and make laws that also are racist against black people. Yes, all of these homosexual laws and rights that they're talking about, blah, 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 we need this, we need that. These are against black people, because why? Black people, poop rolls downhill, and if black people are at the bottom of the hill, black people are in the valley, all of your stupid laws and the rights that you said that you deserve, which is not a right, none of the things that I've heard have ever been a right. There is no right to marry. If there was a right to marry, I'm going to force Oprah to marry me and put me in her will. If there's a right, I'm going to force Oprah, the billionairess, to marry me. That's what a right means. A right means I can enforce this against any other human. That's what a right means. Marriage is not a right. Never was. That's why it's not in the Constitution. That's why it was not a part of the legal system until like the 50s, 40s, something like that. And it was against, once again, black people. There is no right to marry at all. And all of this stuff, and they say, well, the Supreme Court is a bunch of anti-constitutionalists. If they can declare Obamacare constitutional, you know they have absolutely no business sitting on the bench. They should all be recalled. Every single one of them. None of them at any time said, the Supreme Court of the United States does not have jurisdiction over this. That's the constitutional thing that they should have said. Those people agreeing or disagreeing or writing dissenting opinions, they should all be recalled. And if you don't understand that, you do not understand the problem that we are in right now. You have absolutely no idea what constitutional mean. Even those people who think that they're constitutionalists don't even understand. It was the Supreme Court, the very first Supreme Court, that said we do not have jurisdiction over this. And because of that, the White House, Congress were not able to enact quote unquote laws that were out of their jurisdiction against the states. Everybody says, oh, federal law trumps. No, federal law does not trump state law. If it's not a part of the enumerated power, they keep saying this in the Constitution, enumerated powers. If it's not a part of the enumerated powers, it is unconstitutional for the federal government to do this. And the homosexuals talking about this right and that right, blah, 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 and they're getting you all trapped into this circle about people who do not matter. Homosexuals do not matter. I don't hate homosexuals, but they don't matter. They're less than 1% of the population. I know they want to say they're 10%, 30%. No, that is not the norm. It is not the norm to be homosexual. And now they're trying to claim transgender. Transgender isn't even homosexual. Bruce Springsteen, what's his name? Bruce Jenner. Now the kid in Ohio at the high school who claims he's a woman. He has a girlfriend. And when they said, okay, And he said, well, I need to use the girls' bathroom and the girls' locker room. They said, no, we have a unisex locker room and bathroom that you can use. And he refused and said, no, I need to be allowed to use the girls' restroom and the girls' locker room. He is not gay, has no intention of being gay, has no intention of changing, operating, surgically removing anything. No intention whatsoever, and he has a girlfriend that dresses like a guy. And when they say girls have rights too, there should be no way that a guy, and when the parents started writing the superintendent of the board, the superintendent says, we provide a unisex bathroom and locker room. They said, well, wait a minute. There is a girls' locker room, a girls' bathroom. Are you telling me that the girls themselves have to now then go to a unisex, which means, once again, that boys can go in there? That's exactly what the superintendent said. But this boy who's pretending that he's a girl, all he did was put on a dress, a very bad dress, if I must say so myself. Yes, I've been in fashion. I've been a model for very many years growing up, so I can judge. Has no intention of being gay, and the gay community is trying to embrace transgenderism and make it their cause. It's not your cause. Transgender has nothing to do with being gay. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, transgender has nothing to do with sexuality at all, and it is still categorized as a psychological impairment. It has nothing to do with homosexual. It has nothing to do with who you want to have sex with either. Nothing at all whatsoever. Bruce Jenner, Freudian slip. Bruce Jenner has no intention of being gay, is conservative, did all of that to try and promote his TV show. By the second episode, over half of his audience left. By the third, another 50% dropped off. That was all to promote that show. And they gave him $63 million to do the show. And now he's in trouble with the lady that he killed in the car wreck before the show. All of this is, and all of this falls at the feet of black people. Nobody else. I know everybody says, oh, well, the police beat up minorities like Asians and Latino. No, nowhere near the numbers. And they have nowhere near the attitude. Because not every Latino is mestizo. Not every Latino is part black. When I went to go do my report on Mexico, they all looked like valley girls and valley guys and surfers from California. White, blonde, blue eye. You don't see that in the news, do you? They only put the indigent, illegal alien look as Mexican. Oh my God, I can't believe that you would say anything against the Mexicans. They're hardworking people. No, they're not. 1 in 4 Mexicans are hardworking. 3 out of 4 Mexicans, illegal aliens in the United States who are Mexican, are on the social services system. And these people are being compared to black people and saying that black people are lazy. There's 90% unemployment in Chicago, Mr. Obama, in the youth, young black in the teens and lower 20 population in Chicago, where Obama is from. And these are directly impacted by the policies that the White House has implemented. 90% unemployment. That is ridiculous. And then they say, oh, we created 175,000 jobs in the month of May. No, you didn't create anything. The government doesn't create jobs. Stop saying that. You know who creates jobs? Dell, Microsoft, Arby's. Those places create jobs. The federal government, local government, state government does nothing but intrude on job creation. That's all they ever do. Now, my show is a show for everybody. And for black people who are trying to come in and say, oh, down with white people, I hate white people, blah, 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 white people. Actually, my channel is like 70%. I want to say 90%. I don't have the exact numbers, but I want to say like 90% white. So excuse me if I pander to my white audience. Why do the white people like me? Because I'm intelligent. because I'm reasonable, because I'm logical. I can talk about any taboo subject with some reason to it. I'm not going to come out and say, Black Lives Matter, racism, Black Lives Matter, racism. No, I'm going to say, this is a group that was started by people who do not have black interest at their best, at their heart. They're not serving the best interests. I'm going to be logical about everything that I talk about, and this is why people like me. This is why they love coming. I have full-fledged, self-admitted, out in the open, complete racists who are subscribed to my channel. How do I know they're subscribed to my channel? When I upload a video, before I have even started marketing, and it is still tabulating to put it out to everybody's news feed, they have already watched it and commented, liked or disliked whatever they're doing. Self-avowed racists. These are the people who advocates the superiority of the white race, if you believe in that sort of stuff, and who advocate that the laws should be for white people only. And that is remember I said that's the definition of racism. Black people have never implemented a law that was against white people. So stop saying black people can be racist. They can be bigoted, they can hate you, blah, blah, blah. Hate is not racism. I want all of my subscribers to be intelligent, intellectuals. You're all superior. Why? Because everybody who's come onto my channel, actually, because of the aura that I put out through my voice, through the images that I put up, they all write these long, explained, detailed stuff. And most of them, except for the religious people who randomly come into the channel, or the people who come from some sort of group, and you're racist, you know, stuff like that. It just makes me want to slap the keyboard against my head, slap my head against the wall, and walk through a pane glass door. People like that, But for the most part, my subscribers are all intelligent. They might not disagree with me, and I'm okay with that. I'm not a liberal. I'm not I'm not a rhino. I am perfectly okay with people disagreeing with me. It is not going to make me stay up at night because somebody disagrees with me. That is not what I'm about. And I've said that time and time again. And people write, I disagree with you on a lot of points, but on this video, I agree with you. That's all I ever ask. And tell me where you disagree with. Now, I used to, when I first started out, and I hear people say, where's your source? Where's your source? Where's your source? I used to have the page, publication, year, author. I used to do all of that, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not writing a thesis here, and nobody's watching. I used to do all of that. Now I say, you know what, you can go look that up just like, why? Because by the time I finish editing a video, I'm already 5 to 10 videos down. It would literally halt my video making process. At any one point, I have 10 videos floating around, saved to my computer, waiting to be processed. And then I forget something on the video, and it takes the winds out of my sails. And so then I don't process 10 videos that day. I should be pumping out about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos each and every day. As you can see, some days I do it, and some days I do not. Some, whatever. But I'm getting bigger, so I think it is behooving upon me to process 10 videos in a day. So I will get on that with your encouragement or discouragement. It doesn't matter. If all I want is for conversation to be open, and this is what I'm saying to the black people that come in here and say, oh, white people are the devil, white people, blah, 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 blah. I live with, now, 3 white people. We have discussed. What's funny is they say, you hate white people. I go, really? I hate white people? Yeah, I really hate you. Let's go cuddle. No, I'm kidding. I live with 3 white people. I don't hate white people at all. Not even close. I have been to places where I was the only black face in the entire place. And yes, I served as the black ambassador for the entire race of African American, black American, whatever you want to call it. A lot of these titles that you all get hung up on are simply to describe somebody. I say black guy, white guy, and people go, oh, that's offensive. You can't say white guy. Do you understand what I just said? Yes. Do you get the notion that I'm talking about a pale-skinned human? Yes. Okay, that's all I was talking about. I'm a computer. I have absolutely no feelings, and I have no feelings for you either. You either understand me or you don't understand me. And all I'm trying to convey is that understanding when I'm talking. That's all I'm trying to convey when I make my videos. If I say this is happening to white people, to black people, I want you to think that I sit in a very strong, rich palace, and I'm saying, even me, who sits in this palace, I can see the injustice that is going on against black people. Even me. Go read the information description on my channel. I'm giving you a perspective from a middle class to upper middle class black family. I cannot even divorce myself from having money, having resources, having access to stuff. And the videos that I make are saying, even from this seat that I sit in, I can see the injustice that is going on. Now, there are a lot of white people who come and says, well, this is for white people too. Yes. Get it? Yes. I'm acting like Kevin Hart now. Yes. Exactly. This is for white people too. This is for Asian too. Yes, it is. This is for Latinos too. Yes, exactly. Everybody considers black people the least of these. So if it's, like Jesus said, if it's for the least of these, it's for the majority of these. Yes. White on white crime is a thing. They just don't report it. Police killing white people is a thing. They just don't report it. White people not being able to get a job, not being able to support a family happens. It is a thing. They just don't report it. When it comes to those subjects, they only want to report black people. And I'm here to say, hey, look at this. This is injustice for black people. It applies to me too. Yes, it does. It applies to you too. All of you. You're getting screwed. And when I say, hey, black people, why you're supporting Obama? A majority of the Obama support comes from white people. It doesn't come from black people. It's impossible to come from black people because there's not enough black people to go around. Black people cannot change a vote. But if all of the independents, all of the white independents, what have you, in a election, in a campaign, or what have you, that they're talking about, if the black people pull together and make decisions based on their group, because you're already categorized as a group. You can fight that all you want. I deal in reality. This is another thing that I keep saying. I deal in reality. If black people simply pull their vote and say, we're going to do this, they would be pandered to finally. What does that mean? Just like the homosexual population that went to Obama and says, we will not vote for you, Obama, unless you do these 7 things. And he did it, all 7, every single one. And in fact, they were the only group that he did everything that he promised to do. General white population, independents, extreme Democrats, moderate Democrats, didn't do a thing for them, nothing. But he sure did for the homosexuals. And they don't even matter, which is what I keep trying to say. They don't matter. But because they're a loud, boisterous group that has lobbyists, he did all 7 things. And black people, I'm telling you that you need to emulate that action. You don't need to be homosexual, but you need to emulate that action. You need to emulate the Jews. You need to emulate the Asians. And I'm talking about the richer Asians, the Japanese, the Chinese, what have you. You need to do that. And you need to be able to say, no, we are not going to vote for you, Obama, Democrats, Hillary. We will not vote for you if you don't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you're not doing it. You have no power when they can count on you without doing anything for you. Putting out insulting political campaign advertisements saying, Brother Obama's got your back. That's insulting. I'm not a bro. I'm not a hood rat. If you want to speak to me, you have to speak to me on my level. Not every black person is a hood Negro. And I'm telling you, sitting from my seat, from my lofty upper middle class seat, this is not good for you at all. I know they want to say, well, these people think that they know better. Well, I do know better. In this case, I do know better. My wisdom is superior than a hood rat, a hood Negro. What do you call black guys? From a thug. Well, I don't even know why Obama's making political campaign advertisements that go all the way down to the thug Negro level when the thug Negro is not going to vote for Obama. You need to go all the way down to the people that actually matter, and the people that actually matter are the middle class and upper middle class blacks. This is why I don't understand. This is why I do not understand why black people actually listen to the news and say and try and repeat the thug stats that they try and put out. Black women are the most unmarried. No, that is a lie. This is a complete lie. There are more black men in jail than there are in college. Absolutely lie. It's 2 to 1. First of all, there's not enough black. I keep trying to tell you people this. There's not enough black people to go around for these stupid stats. Welfare is a black thing. No, welfare is not a black thing. It's a white thing. There's more white women on welfare than there are black people in the United States. But because the white population is nearly 70% of the country, if 50 million white women are on welfare, it doesn't matter because it only comes to like 30%. But if 10 million black women are on welfare, it comes to like 33%, something like that. You see how ridiculous it is? You can't do that. But who are they trying to impose this on? They're trying to impose this on middle and upper middle class. In my other video, I said they don't care about the thug guy. He's already a slave. He's already a coon. He's already a Sambo. He just doesn't know it. He thinks he's tough. For whatever reason, they want me. They want my kind. They don't want the thug. They don't even want the awakened but lower middle class blacks who are trying to be hip hop artists. They don't even put out that a lot of these hip hop basketball players, all black, are doing stuff like they're already doing this stuff that I'm talking about. Scholarships, schools. They're already doing everything that you don't hear about it. You see Omar Johnson, Dr. Omar Johnson on YouTube because he markets a lot. People market for him. People brand for him. Marketing. That's all it is. All of this black stuff, blacks are terrible, blacks are horrible, that's marketing. If you don't understand that, well, you just need to look and watch all of my videos. This is a show. I'm going to do health reports, fitness reports, food reports, sports, entertainment occasionally. Entertainment doesn't pay me. It's like 2 cents for a bazillion views. Video games, it's a show. And I'm going to continue doing the show. Don't come on my channel saying, I can't believe you made a video game video. There's people dying. I've had people tell me this. There's people dying in Afghanistan. You need to concentrate on that. I am running a show. There are plenty of reports on Afghanistan, China, what have you. And truth be told, YouTube censors me a lot. If you look over the past 20 videos, they actually don't touch on really sensitive topics. A lot of my black videos are okay, but even then, my Bill Cosby videos that completely went against the mainstream media's position that Bill Cosby is this fantastic rapist who's gotten away with this for 9 billion years and nobody ever came forward, not even one obscure woman who felt her oats and came forward the day that it happened. Yeah, we're supposed to believe this, but instead what it is he's in a power struggle for his life, for his family, for his legacy, and all of the people involved in the Cosby empire are all involved in that. And we have these confused, Bledsoe? All of these people, was it Bledsoe? No, it wasn't Bledsoe. One of the girls is completely confused. She doesn't even believe she's black. I mean, come on. It's a power struggle. But you all don't see. What's funny is, if everybody's white, then you can go, oh, conspiracy. This was all a conspiracy. But because it's a black person and you've been trained like trained seals at a circus to believe anything that they say about black people because you feel that you have nothing in common with black Americans, although black Americans are, for all intents and purposes, White, yes, I said that. I've lived overseas. I wasn't indoctrinated into this white supremacist crap. Black people in the United States are completely on the whole white think. Even the people who think that they're awakened and that they call themselves Israelites and all that stuff. I'm not speaking out against it. I'm just telling you what is. They're all indoctrinated. They are in the book of white supremacy. I am outside of the entire book, outside of the entire library. And I think it's ironic that white people in the United States think that they have nothing in common with black people when black people have nothing but in common with white Americans. They have almost nothing in common with Africans. They have nothing in common with European Africans, Asian Africans. Nothing in common. They don't think the same way. They're completely on the stage with white America. And I think it's ironic that surfers and Wall Street brokers think that they don't have anything in common with black Americans. That's all you have in common is black Americans. You don't have anything in common with Latino Americans or Asian Americans. Your equal is the black Americans. They think exactly like you. And this indoctrination is saying, oh, well, we need to change the test because black people are not doing well on their test. Well, when they controlled for all of the terminology to be of about $20,000 less in income, and they used all the terminology that somebody who would be operating at a $30,000 a year income, black people blew everybody away. So it wasn't a test. It was simply a simple tweak in terminology. And there's a lot of pandering to black people to make them feel like children. Black people are white people. They just have black skin on them. Black people are in fact white Americans. They just have black skin. They're not Africans. And there's people who try and say that in other ways, but I'm here to just put it out bluntly, as blunt as I possibly can, so that everybody, even idiots, can understand. This is why I don't hate if I hated white people, I'd be hating my own race. Huh? How about that? Is that blunt enough? Because I'm trying to talk to black Americans, coming from a perspective outside of the entire white supremacy structure. Thank you for watching the Shigema Live Show.